can get 15 gigabytes and it's 700 dinars. People here earn a lot less, so the price of food is a lot more expensive here. So in terms of businesses in Serbia, I guess there's a lot of businesses here that you'll find back home. It's pretty much the same. There's McDonald's here, there's a BMW dealership, we're at Lidl just now. Let's go in Lidl and have a look. So back home obviously you get like Polish week, German week, American week in Lidl. I don't know, but maybe they have like British week in Lidl here. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, this is one thing about the prices here in Serbia. So here, this bread, that's like 110 dinars. Well, this one's like 150 dinars. So that's like 75 pence a pound. I think in Lidl back home it's roughly the same. But obviously people here earn a lot less. So the price of food is a lot more expensive here compared to back in the UK. So for example, here's just a pack of meat. So this pack of meat here, this is 199 dinars, 200 dinars, so that's like £1.50. So I mean that's pretty much the price back home. So I think that's why here in Serbia there's a lot more markets and there's a lot more independent stores as well, because yeah, supermarkets here aren't really cheap, comparatively expensive. I mean it's the same back home as well, supermarkets aren't cheap, they're just convenient, but the thing that we've lost back in the UK is you don't have as many independent stores now, like here. So there's a lot of kind of markets and stuff you can go to here. We've kind of gave up control to the big supermarkets, so you can really only go to a big supermarket back home. Whereas here, yeah, you can go down to the kind of local market and yeah, get vegetables and fruit and whatever, and we don't have that. So here's an example of milk. So this milk, 1.5 litre. So that's £1.50. Yeah, back home that would probably be the same price. And when you take into consideration salaries are maybe like, you know, I don't know if you work a normal job, maybe you get like €600 a month. I mean the food prices should be cheaper here in Serbia, but they're not. And this is something that you get in Serbia that's really popular, you don't get back home. So this is Euro creme. It's basically like Nutella, right? Really popular here in Serbia. So if you're ever here in Serbia, try that, try Eurocreme. Yeah, so in Serbia they have a big coffee culture. You'll see a lot of people just sitting in bars, drinking coffee. It's really, really popular here. And one type of coffee that's very popular, what would something be called? Turkish coffee or domaća kafe, like homemade coffee. This is a popular brand, C coffee. There's loads of other ones like this. Obviously people drink like lattes and whatever and espressos, but this Turkish coffee or homemade coffee is quite popular. There's another popular brand, Don Cafe. So this is another drink here that's really popular, it's called Gorky List. It's like super bitter, I really don't like it. I described it as Jägermeister without the happiness. Basically like Jägermeister without the sugar. This is Jägermeister here. It is 2,000 dinars here, so 15 quid, and I think this is like 20 quid back home, so that's cheaper. There are a lot of things that are a lot cheaper. Food just doesn't seem to be one thing. Food in the shops is more expensive, but in the restaurants it's pretty cheap, which is weird. Or maybe they can save money buying it from elsewhere or buying it in bulk, but the restaurants here generally aren't really that expensive, but shops are more expensive. Anyway, I'm going to get this. Okay, back here at Super Vero again. So I always go there and buy my SIM card when I come to Serbia. Yeah, so in there, Yetel, they've got a little stand at Belgrade Airport as well. When you come out, you can get, it's like 15 gigabytes and that'll last you. It'll probably last you for, you know, at least a few days, a week while you're here, and it's 700 dinars, so it's £5. £5 for 15 gigabytes worth of data. that's pretty decent. I would always say when you come here, get Yetel. It's better than the other one. I think the other one's MTES, which is like the government-run one, or maybe it's A1. There's another one called A1. Anyway, Yetel is probably the best one. We've got a big Greek aisle here. And you can see these watermelons, so these are Greek. Everybody knows, right, you need to check the watermelons when you're buying them. And how do you do that? Now that one sounded a bit hollow, I don't know if that's good. Sanya, how do you tell if a watermelon's good or not by the sound?
You need to...
Yeah, but what's the sound that we're looking for?
So it can be a girl or a male
Yep.
watermelon. I don't know the difference.
Which one, the hollow sounding one?
I think.
Or one that
I
sounds a
don't
bit
know.
firmer?
I honestly don't know.
No.
I
I need to
honestly
find somebody
don't know.
who's
I'm not an expert.
somebody who knows.
When it's like an empty sound, then it's like, I think, male one.
Yeah, but
I'm not sure.
I've seen a lot of grands and grandpas slapping the watermelon. That's a common thing here. Just to test if they're good or not. I have no idea which one's the good one, the hollow sounding one or the one that sounds a bit firmer. So I was just told that apparently there's a saying here in Serbia as well, that watermelon's kind of like your wife. You know, you can't really tell if they're good until you pick them. You know, so you just need to pick one. So this is another thing. I think you can only get it in Serbia, maybe in Croatia, Bosnia. You can probably get it as well. Kokta. It's one of those things, you either love it or you hate it. I'm not a big fan. If you come here, you should definitely try it. Kokta. Also, this as well. This is Ruski Kvass, or I think Russian cola. Have a look at that. I also don't like this. Again, it's one of those things, you either really like it or you hate it. I'm not a fan of it. So apparently there's a lot of these as well, if you look up here. Kineska Robna Kucha, so like Chinese stuff, house, I don't know how to translate it. But yeah, it's basically like, if you can imagine what AliExpress would look like if it was just a shop, right? This is what it is. Let's go have a look. Bravo. You know, it's funny, the closest that I can compare this to, if you're from Glasgow, I don't know, you used to go to like the Forge Market and there was just a lot of just pure random stuff, you know, you could go and buy that's probably marked up way beyond what it's worth. Come get this little candle holder if you're going to church. Yeah, just pure random stuff. Cups, pots, picture frames, stuff for your dogs, toys. If you're from Glasgow, maybe somewhere like the Forge Market. Basically, yeah, if AliExpress had a physical shop, this is what it would look like. Yep. Let's see what we can get. Yeah, so apparently there's 3 of these stores that are within like 5 minutes, and they're really popular here. I mean, I can see why. There's a lot of just cheap stuff, you know. I don't know if you want a box full of toothpicks that have like $100 bill wrapped around them, then come here to the Chinese store. So look at this, Serbia cups. So how much is that? 250 dinars? What's that? 135 dinars is a pound, so it's like £2. Decent. Hey, look at this. So why are you trying to steal when we can see you on the camera? So don't come into the Chinese store when you're in Belgrade and try and steal stuff. I mean, yeah, look, lots of stuff you can buy in here. If you're looking for some furry handcuffs, you can get that in here. Or some love scented candles. I don't know what that's supposed to smell like, but you can buy them here in the Chinese store. I feel like I can't leave here without buying something, so what can I get? So now we're in this shop that's called Maxi. This specific one's Mega Maxi, so you can think of it back home as like, this is like a Tesco Extra. It's like a bigger one, a Mega Maxi. You've got smaller ones, just called Maxi, in the kind of neighbourhoods. You've got lots of stuff for your garden. They've got that here in Mega Maxi, so this Technomania, that's basically like PC World or something, where you go and buy, all your electronics, and it's quite cool that they've got all this in the one shop. Your pharmacy there, place to go buy your groceries, electronics and stuff. What I would say is that, all the kind of fruit and veg and stuff here is a lot better quality. Now I've heard some people say, like, sometimes the meat here in Belgrade maybe isn't the best quality, because there's like 3 million people live here, so they have to churn out a huge quantity to actually feed people here. But in my opinion, personally, I would say that the quality of stuff here is quite good. Electronics and stuff, that stuff is a lot more expensive here.